Have you ever trusted the wrong character, gaslit yourself into thinking, oh, this one seems nice, or been personally attacked by a plot twist at 2 a.m.? You are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're talking what we've read, what we're about to read that's going to destroy us, and the thriller that has officially taken over our personalities for the month. The podcast where we'll willingly read the books that raise our blood pressure, make us distrust literally everybody, and somehow convinces us that moving to a remote cabin is always a good idea. If there is one thing we've learned from this month of reading, it's trust no one, question everything, and never accept a ride from a stranger in Chapter 2 because they are always suspicious. Okay, readers, let's slay some books. Hello, book slayers, you dark fiction lovers. Welcome back to the podcast where we willingly lose sleep so you don't have to. We are Book Slayers with Betty and Bonny.
Hey, guys.
Now, this is your corner of the internet where thrillers, mysteries, and horror stories get deep dove, emotionally dissected, and sometimes aggressively screamed at. Welcome to the chaos. Oh, my God. I've had a really good reading thriller couple of weeks. It's been really good.
Yeah, mine has also. I mean, do you know what? I've got some good and bad in here, so I'm quite excited. I feel like I quite like most books, but just before I get into this, guys, if you're still listening on Ladultress's channel, you need to start moving over to Betty and Bonny Bookslayers. You need to move over to Bookslayers because we're going to stop posting here. So do it now while you're thinking about it. Go and give a follow on wherever you listen, Spotify, Apple, wherever. Give us a follow because we're going to stop posting content here. We've got our own channel. People are moving over. You need to join them, guys.
Yep. Exit stage.
Exactly. So yeah, I've got some goodies and baddies.
Really?
I've got one that really, really, really pissed me off. I was not happy reading this book. And I'm not that person. Like, I can get on with most books. It felt really bad that I was like, oh, this must be like a newish one from this author. Maybe it's like a new. And then I felt bad because I was like, oh, don't like trash someone's. It's not their first book. They've done quite a few. Now, this is obviously just my opinion. This book is Five Liars. Who is it by? Can't remember. D.L. Fisher. The book is Five Liars. There's a couple. They're going away with some friends. They're having like a joint bachelor party. They've hired this like lush villa somewhere. They all get there and apparently it's supposed to be really tense and like shit's going down. And the writing was just not there for me.
Really?
It's really, yeah, I found it really hard. At first you're like, oh, okay, give it some time. And it was sort of trying to build some suspense. I just didn't feel it. And like, you know, it was setting things up like they was in a taxi being driven to this place. And I don't know, there was a dog and it's like the dog of death. And the taxi man's like telling them about this dog. And it's like, okay. Then their luggage gets stolen, that there's no real reason why the luggage gets stolen, that they left outside the house while they went in. So there's basically a couple who, do you know what? This is how unmemorable this book is now to me. I can't even remember their names. I think it's Darren, Britt. Darren and Britt are the main couple. No, they're not. I'm totally messing this. This is how
Don't
much
quote her on that.
Anyway, there's a couple, there's the guy's best friend, and then there's the girl's best friend, and then there's a girl who just works for the main girl who is called Britt. It was like, even the setting, the scene stuff, they go in, and it's like, the whole house is white, everything's white. Cool. Anything else that I can note? There was nothing. I feel so bad being like this, but it's just, it really didn't land with me at all. But I did go and check it on Goodreads, and I think it's about a 3.5, and all the books, it's about 6. It's between like 3.3 and 3.89. So this may be a me thing. But yeah, it just didn't land. And like some of the stuff is supposed to be like, I don't know, it's like who done it out of the 5 of them. They're all 5 lives, but like someone's supposed to like die and stuff. And I just didn't care. I didn't care who's gonna die, I didn't care who survived, like, they get there and then basically there's this big hurricane, so they're trapped in the house, they're supposed to have cooks come in, no one comes in, but there's a load of food left, so it's like, "Oh, okay, well, we've got food." I imagine it's at least 2 or 3 stories, this villa, it's in somewhere like, I don't know, it's not Puerto Rico, but it's somewhere that sounds fancy, like, the weather's nice, they just happen to go when there's a hurricane. So they all get there, and there's little, like, snippets of, like, "Oh, I need a word with you." But the writing is kind of, and it feels tense. It's like, but it doesn't feel tense. You're just telling me that it's tense. Like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling any build. And then there was, like, stupid bits in it where, like, it just didn't make sense what she'd written. So at
Yeah.
one thing at the end, there's, like, 2 dead bodies that you know are downstairs. They're upstairs, and, like, 2 others have, like, gone. Oh, there was 6, was there 6 of them? I don't know. 2 people went over the banister and died, and it was like, oh, and basically it was as if they was all together, and it's like, how can you be upstairs and they're downstairs? And, like, it just didn't make sense. There was also a part where one of the girls goes upstairs and then she doesn't come down for a while, and they go up and then there's blood all over the floor, and she'd been upstairs with, oh, Darren's the best man, actually. He was the last one with her, so they're like, "It's you, you're doing this stuff." She's now locked in her bedroom, but from the outside. He's saying he hasn't done it. So they're like, "Shit, got to go out in the hurricane and go up a ladder to go over the balcony," which probably would have been locked as well, by the way, same as the
Yeah.
door in Tapley.
Yeah, you think.
Yeah. So one goes up, Darren's holding the ladder at the bottom. I can't remember the main guy's name. He goes up. So you would think naturally, like, he would hold the ladder for him as he's trying to come up the ladder. Well, apparently that doesn't happen. And this extra character that comes in at the end is like, "Oh, yeah, I was there and I just wiggled the ladder and I made him fall off." And it's like, but how? Because the other guy was there. So how did you do that? Like, none of it made sense. But I was a bit more, what I will say, what was good about it is there was like a dual timeline. So it was going back to like when some of these girls was kids, but you don't know which girl is which character. So there's 3 girls in the main house, and there's a couple of kids when they're younger. They live with like foster parents. They keep them in the basement. They're fucking horrible. They send them to school. They're without lunch money and like, like just what you think is a horror story of like foster parents. But that
Yeah.
was the book for me, going back to this bit, 'cause it was like, oh, there is a link somewhere, and I'm trying to work that out rather than caring about the main bit of the story. But actually, when it got to the end and it was all about sort of the twist and like how it all linked up, I was like, do you know what? This could have been a great book. I just don't think the writing wasn't there. Like, they was worried about things. So when they first got there, it was like, oh, panicked because the storm's coming, panicked about the food. There was a locked door like off the kitchen somewhere, and they was like, oh, it's locked. But it's a rental, but people don't live here, so that must be scary. And it's like, that would be fucking normal. That's your supply cupboard. Why are we scared about a cupboard? I didn't get it. Like, it was like she was trying to, I don't know if it's a he or she actually. It's like the author was trying to like marry up and make this story out of something that just wasn't really there. It was bizarre. Like, some of it was just, I don't get this. And there was part of me that was like, I just want to see how it finishes. But to be honest, should have just DNF'd it.
Yes.
Yeah. Should have just DNF'd it. Apart from that, I can see that the author actually had like some really good planning, as in how they wanted the story to go. And I do think the twist stuff would have been good. I just think the execution was not there.
That's a real shame. That's a
It was a shame.
shame.
It was a shame. So my stabby rating, it's a 2 because it wasn't a DNF and I didn't enjoy it. It was a
So
2.
2 stabbies out of 5 stabbies.
2 out of 5.
Ooh.
Not great start.
Do you know what I think is funny though? You gave The Husband's Secret 2 as well, and I quite enjoyed that. Not that I'm going to read this one because you're making it sound terrible.
No, I wouldn't read it. You
No, I'm
wouldn't
not
have,
going to.
knowing the twist. But yeah, The Husband's Secret, I gave that a 2. I wish I didn't give it a 2, to be honest. I think it deserved at least a 3. But that one was just so ridiculous that I was like, how can, like, I just couldn't get on board with all the shit that was happening. But actually, it's one of the most memorable books that I've read. So I would honestly tell anyone to read that book. I try and encourage people to read it. I haven't got anyone else to read it apart from
Well,
you yet.
go telling me you only gave it 2 fucking stabbies. Like, come on. If I'd have known you'd only given it 2, I would have been like, no, thank you.
But I did push it hard to though, didn't I? I was
Yeah,
like,
you
"You've got
did.
to read
Really,
it."
really hard.
So yeah, I think I undervalued that book. and what
Yeah,
they
I
gave.
think you did as well, because I gave it 4. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but the book was heavy into the psychological aspects of it, and apparently some of these things really happen. Like, obviously, not the intersex thingy with the pregnancy, but you'd be surprised when I was reading these horrible news stories, right, of what parents have done to their kids.
Mm.
Yeah, it's quite insane.
Tell me you've got a better book than what I've
You're
lived.
gonna roll your fucking eyes. Are you ready? I
God.
finished Butter by
No. Why?
Yuzuki. Why? Because you told me that you and your book club were like, fuck no. Well, I understand the reason why you guys didn't like it. Do you guys predominantly read thrillers, right? Like, you like your fast paced kind of
We
moody
do
book?
as a general oversight, but we do read some other books.
Okay.
I think.
Because Butter is actually considered a slow burn psychological fiction, meaning that the whole point of the book is the things that the chick in the prison does to make the journalist jump through these hoops. It's got this whole vibe of like the Hannibal Lecter and Clarice Starling, like that vibe of like the mentor and the mentee. And I went in thinking that it was going to be horrible. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't one of the best books I ever read, not by a long shot, because I'm not a massive fan of the slow build up. But for anybody that's never read this book or even heard of it, this person is in prison right now. And a real person. Like, this book is based on a real crime, okay? Loosely based, mind you, because some of the stuff is a lot different. But this book was inspired by a real crime. So the murderer, she's in prison, and she basically uses her cooking skills to lure men into thinking that she's like this wonderful house person. And then she kills them with her food. Like, that's why she's in jail. Now, this journalist literally wants her story because she won't talk to anybody. And she's asking about her food choices. And that's how, in the end, she manages to get the interviews in prison. Chick in the prison is literally making her do things based on, like, oh, you have to bake a cake for Valentine's Day. You have to. And then I will think about giving you the story. So she's making this journalist jump through all these fucking hoops. And for me, like, I had this whole single white female vibe too. Like, Rika, that's the journalist, she was basically mirroring the kind of things that Kaji was doing to build confidence in herself, because the whole point of the book was challenging things like fat phobia, because Japanese people like to be very skinny, challenging the idea of gender roles, and breaking down misogyny. And I think that's one of the reasons why you guys probably didn't like it, because it's slow moving, and a lot of the things are like there was a lot of cooking stuff in there. And if you like to read thrillers, like, who the fuck cares that this chick's like talking about how something tastes over fucking 3 pages? Look, I understood it, okay? I understood where you were coming from. But, like, I don't know, like, the Koji was just like this emotional vampire, and she was basically feeding off of all the things that she was making Rika do from prison. Like, she was using her. And I found the psychological shit fascinating. Absolutely fucking fascinating. And I did give it 3.75 stabbies out of 5. It was
Whoa.
slow. It was weird. But it was nowhere near as bad as you made it out to be. It really wasn't.
Didn't finish. I'm not joking, I read half of that, and I was like, after everyone else DNF'd it, I was like, I've paid for this book, I'm going to keep reading it. And after a while, there was too many books I wanted to read, and I kept thinking, I don't know, maybe there was like 6 chapters, because they're really long chapters in this book, right?
Yes.
So I was like, well, chapters an hour. Every week I can do an hour, because it's not that it's like totally boring, or that it was just, it didn't really feel like too much was going on sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah,
It was
really
slow. The beginning's slow, and
yes.
it's still on my bookshelf. I haven't burnt it or anything.
You haven't used it as toilet paper.
One of my highlights of that book, and probably the main thing that I remember, is like, she's like, when she talks to her, like, from the prison, this lady telling the journalist, she's like, so what you have to do is you have to have sex, and then you get up in the night and you have to go into this certain place and have these noodles with butter on it. She talks about noodles and butter all the time. It's like, really? But that's just like my standout thing.
Yeah,
Have sex,
well,
noodles and butter.
Yeah, because what she was trying to do was she was trying to get Rika to understand that she doesn't have to wait around to get the things that she wants, and she could use a man to have sex with, and then the enjoyment from the sex was enhanced by the eating experience. And because in Japan, butter is seen as like the devil because it makes you fat, right? Japanese women are very skinny, they're very conscious of what they look like. And Rika was already pushing the boundaries of eating what she wanted. She didn't care that she was a little bit overweight. Like, it was mentioned a lot, though. Like, someone was like, "Oh, are
Yeah.
you sure you should be eating that?" Like, so for me, it was more of a look at the culture of, should you really be eating that? And she's pushing the boundaries out of, "I'm gonna fucking do what I want." And this chick in prison, even though she's a murderer, was giving her the confidence to just go, "Fuck it. I'm gonna eat that 3rd bowl of fucking rice." You know what I mean? And I kind of found it very like, I found it a little empowering, but yeah, as far as books go, it was very literary based. There was a lot of things that probably could have done without. You know what? It would have improved it a lot. Shorter chapters and more
Mm.
punchiness going through it because the writing was there. I'm gonna tell you right now, the writing was there. I just don't think it was executed the way I needed it to be executed, because then it would have been a 5.
At the towards the end of the book, do you actually get to hear what she did, the murders and do you actually yeah, see I've not reached that part. I think someone goes away somewhere. I don't know if it's her friend rather than the main journalist girl. It's about the middle of the book. I can't 100% remember it all. But yeah, I would have liked to get to actually hear what happened, but
Do
didn't
you know
make it
what?
that far.
It's funny because I thought maybe the true crime mirrored what happened, but the true crime chick literally lured these men in with the food, married them, and then made it look like suicides to get all their money. That's how she did it in real life. Because I had to go rabbit hole a little bit. So I'm like, who the fuck was this chick? But yeah, she used to, and she still runs a blog right now with like cooking stuff. I had a look.
What? Is she out of jail then?
No, she's not out of jail. She gets to do it from prison. Yeah, she writes a cooking blog. I went and had a look. It was fascinatingly creepy.
Any good recipes? Should we is there anything we should be making?
It's not anything I would cook, but yeah, it's fascinating. I think that the author did a decent enough job
Mm.
for what they were going for, because they weren't going for a thriller. This book was never intended to be a fast-paced thriller. She wanted a psychologically damaging fiction book, and she nailed that. It's just I don't think it was marketed right. I really don't, because everybody in my thriller fiction group thought it was a thriller. So somebody didn't do their fucking job properly. Moving on.
Moving on. I'm gonna right. I was gonna go worst, like worst to best. I've started off with my worst one. This isn't my worst one. This is all on me. So I listened to The Hunting Party, Lucy Foley.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
You rated it 4.
I don't know why, because I went back and yeah.
So I was listening to it. It's basically like a group of friends have hired somewhere in like Scotland. They're going there. So you've got like the parties, different perspective from the people in the party. Plus you've got some perspectives of, I think there's 2 or 3 people that work there. I don't know if you get all their perspective. I can't remember. I don't mind Lucy Foley. I liked The Midnight Feast. I thought Stabby's that one. But this one, I was audiobooking it, but I was dipping in and out. I think I was into it with the main characters, and then when it comes to the people that live there, I don't know why, and this is why I'm saying I think this is on me, because I think I would have actually liked this. I haven't rated this book because I think I need to go back and read it, but not yet. Like, I'll be out one day, the book will be in a charity shop, because that's where I like to buy my books, and I'll be like, cool, it's there, I'm going to buy it now, and I'm going to read it. Because again, I don't remember loads of it. I know that there's a lot sort of internally with the characters. They're all linked, like a lot of them are old school friends. One of them is kind of newer to the group, and you kind of feel that a lot through the book, that she's not sort of part of everything. So you might have been the planner. Someone planned it. It all gets very twisted between themselves. They're like drinking, doing drugs. There's a lot of all that. I feel like I would have liked it more if I was into it, but I feel like this is a me problem, not the book problem.
Okay.
I feel like this could have been a 3 to 4 star for me.
Okay.
The setting sounded good, like Scottish Highlands, blah, 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 like all beautiful, scenic. I think I read something that Lucy Foley said, I'm sure it was her, that was like she almost thinks of the setting as a character, and I think you notice that with her books, like she does like to build the setting, and I kind of
Yeah.
felt that. So yeah, this is kind of a really quick review from me because I don't think I can honestly review it properly because I don't think I paid attention. I don't even know who done it in the end. That's how much I didn't pay attention listening to it. So my recommendation is don't audiobook it, read it. I think maybe with the audiobook, because you have so many multiple points of view, maybe it got a little bit lost sometimes. I've said it before, sometimes I'm doing my shopping and then I'm like, butter, bread, shit, I don't know what's happened in this book. And it's not as easy to skip back on an audiobook.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I find
Um,
that audiobooks get really messy when there's multiple points of view. It's not my favorite thing either.
but I really think it would have been, I'm going to put it out there, I reckon it would have been a 4-star from me if I'd properly paid attention.
I think I own that book.
Well, you can't give it to me. You're in Canada.
Well, yeah, I know.
It's fine. It'll be in a. Do you know what? I reckon I've actually seen it in a charity shop before, but I'd already had a couple and I didn't get it. Maybe I should go back. I wonder if that'd be interesting if it's still there because they don't
Be
actually.
a sign.
That would be a sign that I should get it. I actually do need to pop up town in that area, so I might go and have a look tomorrow
Yeah, you should.
and see because they didn't have like. There's one bookshop at the bottom of town that has like a whole like wall of books, but obviously like different genres. This one was quite small, but I found like a good couple of books in there and all in really good condition. Really good condition. So yeah, I might go back and see if it's there or just keep an eye out for it. Wouldn't want to read it straight away because I've just done it, but like in the future, I might be like, oh, remember I thought I probably would have liked it. So yeah, I'm not even going to rate it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I remember because I went and had a look at my Goodreads for the Lucy because I knew I'd read one, and I'm like, did I 3.5 star it? Like, did I actually review it? Review it?
I don't think there was. I mean, unless it does, I don't know Goodreads very well. I just saw that you had 4-starred it, and I saw
Yeah.
someone else I knew 4-starred it, and I remember being quite engrossed in like the main bit of the story, but I was getting lost in other bits, and then was like,
Yeah. I think I need to start typing what I actually give it in the review thing if I don't review it, because I'm fairly certain it's actually a 3.5. And I
yeah,
wish
I don't think
Goodreads
you
would
did
start
right.
doing that.
You just saw your star rating. Sometimes
Yeah.
I see a review, so maybe you didn't do a full review on Goodreads. Maybe you just starred it.
Yeah, I think it was a 3.5. So I went back and looked at it and I'm like, I do remember this. I'm pretty sure it was 3.5 because when you said yesterday that that's one of the books you'd read, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3.5. And I think that's just who she is for me, a 3.5er. That's Ruth
Yeah,
Ware as
I
well. She's around
you've
3.5.
done this before. I think
Yeah.
her other books have been like a 3. I'm not. To me, it's like not quite a sort of freeder, but do you know what I mean? Like I'll read it, but
Yeah.
not gonna be a 5-star probably.
You just don't expect too
I
much
mean,
and then you won't be disappointed.
challenge us, do us a 5-star, see if we can get there. But yeah, not for me. What you got?
So the next one I did this month was Dollface by Lindy Ryan. Now,
I saw you post a picture of this.
I
I was like,
know,
oh,
okay, the cover is absolutely stunning, and that's what drew me in the first place, and somebody had written the caption, "Barbie meets Scream," like this 90s nostalgia, like modern slasher, and I was like, "Okay, I don't need to know anything else. This is coming with me." So, basically what it's about is this horror writer, Jill, like her husband works for the army, so they move around a lot, and they end up moving to the suburbs, so like New Jersey and the suburbs. And she literally has someone turn up on her doorstep with like this welcome basket. And because she has a kid and the kid's in school, she literally gets forced into joining the PTA. Like it's not something she'd normally do. And the chick just was like, "You're doing this. Come with me. Like this is happening." And she's like, "Okay, fine." She's like, "Maybe I can have some friends here," because she's a little bit of a weirdo. She's a horror writer, so she's weird. And then what happens is somebody starts like attacking each of the PTA mums. And she's like, because she's a horror writer, she's trying to work out who's doing it, why they're doing it. Is she next? Like, you know what I mean? So she's got like a murder board, and her husband thinks is just like, ugh. But you know what was really refreshing? This book never once said that the husband was gaslighting her or being horrible. Like he was a good, decent, like person. Like, and I love that because a lot of these horrors, thrillers that I read, the husband's always a bit of a cunt. Ooh, probably shouldn't have said
yeah,
that. Hello, but see you next Tuesday. And I really found this refreshing. Now, I loved it because it basically had like the final girl thing going on because Jill was like basically the last one standing, even though she really wasn't, but she's the one that figured everything out. And it had the best trapdoor reveal ever. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. It's basically where you know where the book's progressing. It ends the way you expect it, and all of a sudden there's a fucking twist that changes the whole fucking story. So what you
Love
thought you knew and what did happen, because that's how you've been being led, there's something else over here and you go, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Oh my God, I did not see that fucking coming. Didn't see it coming at all." And I love the mean girl vibes in there because the PTA mums were like, "Meh, meh, meh." Like what this chick's like doing beauty stuff. She invites all her friends over to try and sell them these products. And her friend's like, I'm going to get a real spa day. Like, I'm not coming. And I'm like, what a bitch. Why couldn't you just go hang out with your friends and support her? I'm like, you're a fucking knob. And then she gets hurt. And that was tasty. I quite enjoyed that. I quite enjoyed that. But I really enjoyed Jill as a character. She was 'cause she was a little bit scatterbrainy and her mind was going to these like weird places, but really she was on the right track. She just wasn't completely on the right track. The energy of the book was great. The vibes were great. It was a little bit on the slower side, which is probably my only like petty complaint about it is it had some like lully moments. I loved it, like the obsession because she got really fucking obsessed with like trying to work out who this was and why it was happening. And she was like mega focused on it, showing like the suburban perfection. Like these women have all their hair and makeup done to go and do the school run. And I'm like messy bun and I'm lucky if I don't have a stain on my like hoodie. Like that's how I go to the school. So I'm like, yeah, yeah. So, but I really fucking enjoyed it. I was gripped. Like I gave it 4.5 stabbies. Like I really thought it was great. Really,
I
really great.
love that. That definitely sounds like my kind of book.
It was so good, and there was, like, a little bit of humor laced in there, like, some of the stuff she was getting up to. It wasn't, like, laugh out loud funny, but there was some definite, like, more comedy
Yeah,
tones in there. I really liked it. I would definitely try Lindy Ryan again. Yeah. I had a really fucking good month. You didn't sound like you had a great month.
that's my two not great ones. But I just finished yesterday, Then She Was Gone, Lisa Jewell.
Mm.
This has been on my bookshelf since like May last year. I went back and looked it up because I was like, I've had this book for ages. How have I not got to it? And it was May. So I can't believe it's took me that long. But it's about a woman, her daughter basically goes missing. And then it's been like 10 years. They do like a reconstruction. And she happens to be in the sort of area where her daughter went missing. She meets a guy in a shop. They share a bit of cake. It's a little bit like weird because she hasn't been with anyone for 10 years because she's just been so upset about her daughter Ellie going missing. And then it's just how she kind of gets in this relationship with this guy. So you're kind of like, yeah, good for you. Like, I'm going to say you've got to move on, but do you know what I mean? It's like she stays single. Her ex-husband kind of moved on. He got with someone. He's with a girl called Bonnie, funny enough. Was it you?
With him.
Yeah. And it's like how their relationship kind of develops. And then she meets his daughter. And the daughter is like doppelganger, spitting image of her daughter.
I remember this book well.
It is like, first of all, if you're a parent, I found some of it hard because I think you naturally, when you read a book, you start going to like how you would feel. And it is really like heartbreaking and horrible to think, her daughter was about 15. She was about to do her GCSE. She was doing so well at school. She had a tutor to help with maths because this boy that she liked was better at maths than her. And she wanted to impress the boy, even though she's like amazing at everything. So yeah, she was like really excited to do all this stuff and like, had this whole future ahead of her. And then she walks out one day to go to the library and she just never comes home. Police do not find anything. There's nothing. So for 10 years, she's kind of sat in limbo. She has two other children. She has a boy and a girl, Hannah and Jake. And you see a little bit of like how it's affected their relationship, that she lost
Yeah.
that because the mum obviously sort of goes into herself. She kind of stops being a mum because she's so depressed and is just constantly thinking about Ellie. So it kind of shows that sort of emotional side and how like it affected her other kids. Like not just they lost their sister, but they lost their mum as well.
Yeah.
All the stuff when she meets the guy and the kids, what was her name? Can't remember. The daughter, the guy's daughter, who looks so much like her daughter, is like freaking, and people comment on it, and she's like, "Yeah, I know, I can see it too." And it's almost like, stop saying that to her, like. But yeah, it's and how the story develops was there. I don't want to ruin it because this was a good thought. This was a high 4-star, high 4 star
Yeah. I
from me.
remember reading it and I
Good.
couldn't fucking believe the ending. And I literally went, I got no one to talk to. I got no one to talk to.
Yeah, you need someone to talk to. It
Always.
is like, yeah, and like how it ends and stuff. Like, I don't, this is one that I don't want to spoil. I know I've kind of spoiled the other one, but I feel like no one's going to read that of my crappy 2-star rating. But this one is a really good Lisa Jewell. Like, you should read it. It was a really good read. I couldn't put it down. I was like up late, like reading this book. It was, and I was thinking about it. Do you know what I mean? You know, when you're thinking about, so it's not even just where it's going to go. It's just, I think it kind of gets you in your heart a little bit, just sort of
It was
how it all pans out.
tragic. It was
It was it
tragic.
was so sad. It was like the ending, it was sad with like a slight silver lining, I guess, which you would never say, bearing in mind that she lost her daughter. But yeah, it was a lot. And it was, again, like dual perspective, like different people's kind of points of view. Some new ones coming at the end, which was good to see as well. Yeah, it was, yeah,
He was
4-star.
fun,
Loved it.
charming stranger too, hey, with the cake. Didn't you find him really like the charming stranger thing going on when he first meets her too?
Oh, 100%, yeah. Like, he's like the perfect guy. And then he's also like a single dad raising this young girl. Her name keeps coming to the tip of my tongue. Poppy. Her name's Poppy. She is like super clever, like super clever. And like the way she speaks, like the way she talks to adults and stuff, but he homeschools her.
Yeah.
So she's only ever been around him as an adult. So she's like, she stands up one time, makes a toast, and like, you know, everyone's like in awe, like she's 9 years old. She talks to adults like about news and like worldly thing. Like she's just
It's
really
really
smart.
creepy. Yeah, but it's
But also
creepy.
she hasn't had like loads of interactions with like kids. So she's kind of, it's almost a bit sad that she's missed out on a bit of a childhood as well.
Yeah. It was a heartbreaking book, and it's funny because Lisa Jewell actually has another book coming out in June called It Could Have Been Her, and I've got it. I already have it, and
How about,
I'm so fucking pumped because after I saw that you were reading the book that you just finished, I'm like, "She is brilliant." So I'm in for a
I love,
fucking
yeah,
good read.
love Lisa Joel. I liked her other book that she did, None of This Is True.
That was so good.
So good. So good. If you haven't read it, go and read it. It was like, we read that for book club. It was one of like our first like 5 in like the first, and it was just, it was a great one to talk about. So yeah, definitely read that.
Yeah, she's a good author. Do you wanna hear what I read next?
Go on.
I did How to Get Away with Murder by Rebecca Phillipson. Now, this book, I wasn't sure about it. When I got sent a widget of it from NetGalley. They were like, "Here, try this book. It's in your wheelhouse." I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." Well, I grabbed it 'cause I'm like, "We're doing thrillers. This makes sense." So it's basically about this detective. Her name's Sam, and she's on leave from work because she had a mental breakdown while she was working, and she's been getting therapy and whatnot. And they're trying to convince her to come back to work, and she's not ready. But she comes across a crime scene where this girl had been murdered. She's 14 years old, called Charlotte. And that's what inspires her to come back to work because she wants to work this case specifically. But the girl is found with a book in her backpack called How to Get Away with Murder, a guide on how to be a serial killer and get away with it. Nonfiction. Okay. And I was like, all my dudes, all my fucking dudes. I'm like, okay, because this book, literally, a book within a book, I love those. So every point of view moved from like Sam to excerpts from this book on these crimes that he's committed and what he did and how he got away with it. And then he's talking about statistics about how many people get caught with fingerprints, how many people get caught because of blood, DNA, all kinds of stuff like that, and how many murders don't actually get solved. And it's actually, if anyone's like, oh my God, I probably shouldn't say this. But according to this book, and I Googled it and it's true, if you want to commit a murder, as long as you murder somebody you don't fucking know, the chances of getting caught are really fucking slim. And if you
Disclaimer.
get arrested, and you don't fucking say nothing, they can't keep you. They keep you held there so that you'll say something. Now, if you just keep your fucking mouth shut, they have to let you go. And I'm like, it's true. And I had a question for you. Let's say this was a real book, okay? Let's say this book truly exists. Some serial killer out there had killed like 50 people, gotten away with it all, and written a how-to guide. Now, would you read it? Would you read this book if you could buy it?
Yes.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I'm like, I want to know, okay? I want to see how a serial killer's mind works, ones that don't get cocky enough to And there was even a section in this book where he's talking about, look, if you really want to kill someone, this is what you do, okay? And I'm like, I can't Google that now because my Googling looked really bad this month, okay? Like how to kill men and get away with it, how to get away with murder. And then like all the other things I was Googling, I'm like, oh my God, this looks really fucking bad. But this book was so, so good. It's basically police procedural, but it's not so procedural because of the way they do it with the book within a book. The format was slightly different and I really fucking loved that. The guy that wrote the book is like a narcissist mastermind. And then you've got like everyone feels a little unreliable with the narration because you don't know if you can trust the person who wrote the book for it to be the truth or whether or not he's fabricated this stuff. Like you don't know. And then because she's got like these mental health issues and she probably shouldn't be working, you can't really trust her. And it was so good. And because the girl obviously didn't kill herself, and did she already have the book? Did someone plant it on her? Is it a copycat killer? And I just spent my whole time going, there's so many fucking threads, and the author did a beautiful job of weaving this stuff together, and the ending just made complete fucking sense. Except I never quite understood why, and this is my petty grievance with this book. I don't quite understand why. Like, I'm not going to spoil who did it, but I never quite worked out the reason why the person killed her. Like, they kind of hint that the girl knew something about them, but they don't say what, and that really fucking pissed me off because I wanted to know.
No, I don't like books that don't like close circle, job
Yeah,
done.
it
The
felt
fact.
because it was like I personally, my mind went to a specific place, but they never actually tell you if that's what really happened, and that really fucking bothered me. Now, obviously, the ending I didn't see coming. I didn't see the person that did it. Like, they didn't even factor in. It was a solid book. Like, it was a solid book. I gave that one 4.5 stabbies as well. That's what I mean. I had a brilliant month.
Love that. That book sounds fucking brilliant. Even though they're not totally filling you in at the end, I would still pick that book up.
It was good. It was good.
100%. Sounds really good. This is how much I like this book. Dead in the Water, John Mars. Come on. You've read it. You know you've read it. If not, you know you want to read it. John Mars has done this bloody brilliantly. I'm terrible with names today. What is happening with my perimenopausal brain? What's going on? That's what I'm blaming it on today. Do you know what? Maybe I'm just going to leave it there. But what I will say, I 5-starred this book and read The Good Samaritan first. Don't jump into this one. Please read that first. Maybe we'll come back to this another day, maybe, because I want more people to have read it before I speak about this and like ruin stuff. But it was great. You've read this as well, haven't you?
I did. It was one of my top reads of the year so far already. I 5-starred it. But I had read The Good Samaritan, and that really helps to have read that book first. You don't have to. It's not going to change the story for you, but it's going to enhance your story experience if you have read The Good Samaritan. Betty's completely right here.
Yes. Of Good Samaritan, luckily, that was my first read of this year, and I 5-starred that. And I'd heard some stuff, so I kind of knew something was going to happen along these lines. But yeah, definitely read The Good Samaritan and then read that. Maybe we'll put some links on socials. Tell us what you think, because I thought it was brilliant. I couldn't have asked for more out of this book. It was John Mars. Well done, mate.
Yeah,
that was bloody brilliant. I enjoyed it. I couldn't put it down. There was so much going on.
If I could stand up right now, he would have got a standing ovation, but I'm kind of trapped. So it was brilliant. But I love John Mars. I have a very good experience with his work. You know what to expect too. Like, he was talking the other day and he was like, I write books where I build you up with all the information, like, and I build you slowly before I slam you in. And he's like, and if you don't like that, don't read my books. And I was like,
that. I like that. Okay, but I never find his books too slow.
No, I don't either.
I think both of them are definitely his top books for me. So if you're going to read any John Mars, start with The Good Samaritan and then do Dead in the Water. Thank you, Slayer.
I'll just tell you what book I read, like the last one that I did. I did When I Kill You by B.A. Paris.
Now, you've definitely got a theme going on.
Right? That's what I mean. I was like, yeah. And this is supposed to be the month of like romance, right? February was supposed to be the month of romance. And I was reading thrillers, but who the fuck cares? But it's literally one of those books where the stalker becomes the stalked. And the ending was like fucking mind-blowing. Like, I didn't see it coming. Again, it was another trap door. The trap door, dual timeline, multiple points of view, hidden path. Like, yes, okay, I do have a petty grievance. It did get a little repetitive in spots, but I did the audiobook and it was easy enough to swish past. But it was so fucking unhinged. And there was so much going on. It was a clusterfuck. There you go, Brian.
I can't wait to read that book.
I can't wait either. It's really, every time I look at the cover, I'm like, don't open it. Don't open it yet. We're not ready. We're not ready. We're not ready.
So obviously in the next month, you're going to be reading that one. What else are you going to read?
Oh, okay. I have a ton. Like, I just started this one. And it's called I'm Not the Only Murderer in My Retirement Home. And it's so fucking, it's funny. It's like a mystery. Everyone's in the retirement home and everybody's like killing people and doing shit. I'm like, this is hilarious. It's so fucking funny. I did make a list of what I got coming up. Okay, so I got A Sociopath's Guide to a Successful Marriage by M.K. Oliver. Now Burning by Katrona Ward. That's a little bit more horror than thriller. Read Between the Lines by Jesse Q. Santanto. The Caretaker by Margus Kluwer. The Anniversary by Alex Finlay. And Dark is When the Devil Comes by Daisy Pierce.
That's a list there.
None of these have been released yet. None of them have been released yet. These are all arcs. I need to concentrate on that.
So mine are all released because I'm not a book reviewer and no one sends me free shit. So I keep saying this. I want to start the Steve Kavanagh series, Eddie Flynn series. The first one I think is called The Defense. I must read that book this month. If I don't, you have permission to tell me off because I need to read one. I've got a couple on audio. That these, if you're in the UK, I've actually downloaded these as Kindle Unlimited books, but they're actually both audiobooks. So I'm going to do both of these. I'm really excited about this one. It's The Good Lie by A.R. Tor or Tory. I never know how you say the name. I remember reading a book by this author and being like, I loved it. I can't remember what the bloody book was. This is literally my catchphrase today. I can't remember.
I'm going to make you a T-shirt and it's going to say Betty and then a speech bubble going to say, I can't remember.
You know the book, though, where it's the female lead and she's a psycho. And at the end, like, she's basically recreating her birthday party when she was younger.
Yeah, I know which one that is.
This is the last party.
Yeah.
Party.
Oh, my God.
It's so good. So I'm really excited to do that one, The Good Lie. Unspeakable Things by Jess Lowry, I think is how you say it, or Laurie.
Yeah.
I've just seen this one come up and I've just downloaded it on my Kindle, The Dead Husbands Club. Michelle Powers. I'm intrigued. I like it. It sounds like me. It sounds a bit like Desperate Housewives kind of vibes. I like all that shit. I'm excited. So they're my 4 that I must read. One of my, like, I really want to get to, but I don't think I will. I might have said this before, Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Oh my God. I really want to try this series too. Supposedly it's fucking hilarious.
We tried to flog this at book club the other day, me and Rosie. We went to Wagamama's on Wednesday. And I'm not joking, everyone read it and it's like, are you two all right? And it was like, stop looking at the picture, like, read what it's about. It looks really good. And they're like, no, that got vetoed really quickly.
And that's a real shame.
I know. Well, hopefully we can go back and be like, that was great. It kind of gives me a bit like Hunger Games vibes. I might be totally, but that's what it makes me think. And one of the guys in book club is like loves all that shit, loves sci-fi, and I don't know why he wasn't on board with that. My last one is just Dear Debbie. However, this is
that's on mine as well. I just got the audio book.
Now I did put it on my want to read on Goodreads, and one of my friends just literally read, "Don't bother, babe." I was like, okay.
Yeah, but if they, you know what? This is what someone told me. They were like, if you're a Frida McFadden fan, it starts to wear off after so many books. Doesn't matter which ones you read. The thrill wears off.
Well, there's definitely some standout Fridas, but I will give it a go, but I probably won't get to it this month. I will do my damnedest, though, to try and get through those books.
We can do it. And that is a wrap on today's thriller reading roundup. This was honestly such a strong reading period for me, not so much for Betty. But I'm really excited to see what the rest of the month brings. Because if there's one thing thriller readers know, it's that the next favorite book could always be just one book away. We hope that you have enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to give us a subscribe on our podcast channels. You know where they all are. I'll stick it in the caption. We hope that you have the reading week that you deserve, readers. and we will be back next time to slay more books with you.
Catch you soon, guys.
Take care, guys.